everyone, guess where I am? I wanted to come here today because I really miss this place, and I bet you do too. I miss singing with you. I miss praying with you. I miss trying to remember all your names. But most of all, I miss seeing you here. So I'm here, but you're not. And that makes me sad. But sadness was last week's emotion. Remember, Miss Sheila talked about sadness. The week before that, Mrs. Detchner talked about anger. And the first week, Miss Katie shared about fear. Well, my kids' own friends aren't here today, but I'm not alone. Skylar and Aiden are here with me to help introduce today's emotion. I've placed a bowl of cold, slimy mud in front of each one of them. And in that mud, I've hidden a worm. Yes, I have. And we're going to have a little contest to see who can find the worm without using their hands. Okay? Ready, set, go! It's in there, it's in there. Boys and girls, do not try this at home without your parents' permission. That's another one of Miss Donna's don't try this at home things. Looks like we have a winner.
I started putting on my nose.
But that's disgusting. And that brings us to today's emotion. Let's talk about disgust.
Welcome back to our series, Meet Your Emotions. Today we will be meeting disgust. She didn't want to meet us at our studio today, so we have our field reporter, Adam, in Hollywood, ready to interview her. Adam, can you hear me?
Thanks, Sally. Our guest today is a very fashion-conscious young lady. Trust me, I know. She's told me how much she doesn't like my hair several times. Please welcome Disgust. Now, Disgust, Sally tells me that you didn't want to visit our studio for an interview. What's wrong with our studio?
About twice as much as is wrong with that outfit.
You don't like my outfit?
What, is it 1985? Did you raid Magnum PI's wardrobe?
The kids don't know who that is.
What, were they like born yesterday?
No, they just don't remember the 80s.
Wow.
Anyway, tell us what you do.
Well, normally I would keep people from leaving the house looking like you.
Is that all?
I also keep people from doing gross things like eating broccoli.
But broccoli's good for you.
I also keep people from embarrassing themselves, and again, in your case, I feel like a total failure.
That's a pretty negative outlook.
And your shoes are so last season. Did I mention the shoes yet?
I appreciate that you're always looking out for us, in a way. But I think it's important to mention that sometimes we need to look beyond the surface.
What's that mean?
It means that somebody who might dress differently or look a little odd might not be that bad of a person on the inside.
Someone like you?
That's right. God made us all very special, and He wants us to love people for what's on the inside, and not just what we see on the outside.
I feel like I'm on a very special episode of Blossom.
The kids don't know what that is.
Oh right, born yesterday.
They're good kids, Disgust. You just need to get to know them.
I guess that makes you an okay person too.
Really?
Well, it's obvious that you care about these kids, and you want them to love like Jesus. Why else would you dress like a clown on Sunday?
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
You would. Well, I have other, more important people to talk to.
Well, there you have it, kids. Disgust. Back to you, Sally.
Thank you, Adam. And thank you, kids, for watching this week's Meet Your Emotions. Join us next week. See you soon.
If you scroll through the dial on the radio, you'll find all sorts of stations. Country, pop hits, oldies, hard rock, talk, sports, and my favorite, Christian radio. If you scroll through the menu on Netflix, you'll find an even wider range of movies. Comedy, action, horror, romance, adventure, family. Scroll down further and you'll see even those categories can be broken down. Sports comedies, slapstick comedies, romantic comedies, spoofs, and more. Everywhere you look, you see variety. Variety of restaurants, variety in clothing styles, variety in cars. Do you know why there's so much variety? Because we all have different tastes. We all have things we like, and we all have things we find disgusting. Disgust is the little voice in our head that says, yuck, I don't want to eat broccoli, or yuck, I don't like country music, or no, Mom, I'm not wearing the outfit Grandma bought me because I look like a total geek. Disgust helps us sort out things we enjoy from things we don't like. It's a very unique and special part of our personality that wants us to stay happy and avoid the things that are, for lack of a better word, yucky. Disgust is always judging things that come into our lives, even people. Disgust evaluates whether the new kid in class is someone cool or someone to avoid. Disgust tells us right off if we're going to like a substitute teacher or not. It tells us whether we can trust the adults in our lives. Disgust wants to make us look good, and it's very concerned about the company we keep and the advice we take. But disgust doesn't always get it right because disgust doesn't always look at the right things, especially when it comes to people. Disgust often only looks at the outside, but Jesus taught us we need to go a little deeper and find out who someone is inside. And boys and girls, if we were all here together, this would be the time when I'd say it's time for a sword drill, but you're not here. So I'm just—
Did somebody say sword drill?
I guess I did say sword drill, Aiden.
I'm ready, Grandma.
I'm sure you are, Aiden. Okay, so we're going to read Luke 17:11 through 19. Luke 17:11 through 19. Draw. And boys and girls, Luke is in the New Testament. It's one of the first 4 Gospels in the New Testament. It goes Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Got it!
Good job, Aiden.
Now, on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 2 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." When he saw them, he said, Go show yourselves to the priests." And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him, and he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, "Were not all 10 clean? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner?" Then he said to him, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well."
To the people of ancient Israel, there was no one more disgusting than a leper. Leprosy was a terrible disfiguring disease that literally causes parts of your body to rot and fall away. People with leprosy were required to live outside the city, and by law, if they saw other people coming towards them, they had to shout, "Unclean, unclean," so people would stay away. No one talked to lepers. No one. But Jesus did. Jesus saw past the horrid disease that was destroying their bodies and saw 10 men whom his Father in heaven made and loved. Jesus healed them, not because of the outside, but the inside. Jesus said that if we want to be his followers, we must do as he did. That includes loving others, no matter who they are or what they look like. We need to get past our disgust and learn to love others like Jesus does. This is one of the hardest parts about following Jesus. For many Christians, it's easier to declare that Jesus is Lord, to admit to being sinners, and to humbly say we cannot save ourselves and need Jesus to save us than it is to love others. The reason this is so hard is because all of us are taught from an early age to judge others in so many ways. We judge people based on whether or not they are Christian. We judge them based on what political party they like. We judge them based on what sports teams they like. We judge them based on the clothes they wear, how many moles they have on their face, whether or not they wear glasses, whether or not they look athletic. Just like movies on the Netflix menu, we tend to judge people solely based on the cover, what we see on the outside. We rarely, if ever, take the time to truly get to know someone. How many of you want to be judged solely on the brand of clothes you wear, or your athletic ability, or where you live, or the weird quirks you have? I don't think any of us wants to be judged on outward appearance, but if we want to be known and loved for who we are inside, we need to learn to love other people the same way. When we overcome our disgust for certain external things, we're able to discover that the people we thought were so different aren't so different after all. We will find people who like the same things we do. We will find people who like the same weird toppings on their pizza. We will find friends who can teach us new hobbies and cool things we've never experienced. We will find them when we let God teach us to overcome our prejudices and get to know who someone really is. Jesus never judged anyone based on the outside, and neither should we.
Hi everybody. This week you've been learning about how Jesus teaches us that it's important how we are on the inside, even more than the outside. And so this is a verse that goes along with that, 1 Samuel 16:7. And Kenzie and Tirza are going to help us as we memorize this verse. Well, let's start by saying it together. 1 Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Now we're going to make it a little harder. We're going to erase some words and see if they can say it again. All right, give it a shot.
1 Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart.
All right, we're going to make it a little harder.
1 Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart.
Okay.
First Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. The people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart.
All right, it's going to get really hard.
First Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outer appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart.
All right.
It's actually kind of hard and easy. Things and look right now. Oh, that's good. 1 Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. The people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. This is getting hard. No, make it hard. No. 7. Oh no. 1 Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outer appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. That one was easier. Yeah. What? What? No! 1
Samuel 16:7.
The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outer appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. We did it! Yay!
Greatest day in history. Death is beaten, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. Left across the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I am changed. When I stand in that place, free at last, meeting face to face, I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. Endless joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I am changed. And oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious way that you have saved me. And oh, what a glorious name, what a glorious name, Jesus. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I am changed. What a glorious, glorious day, I'll never be the same.
Hey Sky, let's have a snack. Which would you choose? Twinkie or broccoli?
Twinkies.
I think everyone would agree with you. When it comes to a choice between a Twinkie and broccoli, Twinkies win. They taste better, they smell better, they look better. But what happens when we look beyond the surface to what's inside? There's more than just a cream filling inside a Twinkie. Go ahead and read those ingredients for me.
Sugar, water, enriched flour, bleached wheat flour, malted barley flour, niacin, ferrous sulfate, reduced iron, thymine monotriate, riboflavin, high fructose corn syrup, tallow, dextrose cornstarch, modified cornstarch, hydrogenated tallow, whey, glycerin, salt, sodium acid phosphorate.
Does anyone even know what that stuff even is? A Twinkie is a crazy chemical concoction of 37 different ingredients. Kind of changes the way you look at a Twinkie, doesn't it? Broccoli has one ingredient. Broccoli! But within that broccoli are a host of good things like protein, vitamin C, calcium, iron, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B6, and potassium. It's lower in calories, it's better for you, and it's completely free of chemicals and compounds that we have no business eating. God looks at people the same way we just looked at these two foods, on the inside. He looks past the surface to see what's in our hearts. And as followers of Jesus, he wants us to do the same. Next time you see someone a little different, don't look at the outside. Remember the Twinkie. Remember the broccoli. Take a look inside the person before you turn your nose up. You'll discover someone special that God made, and you might just make a new friend.